Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Unpredicted Party spinoff. I am Don Marshall, the lore master for today, and joining me are three of my guest characters that, for some reason, decided to all team up and go on a side quest together. Please welcome Tank Tolman playing Grimbjorn, Kadiosaurus playing Queen Eowyn of Rohan,
Yeah.
and Justin Jordan playing Halbarad of the Dunedain. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Howdy. Wow, it's so
So
nice. This
it
is great.
is. It's
That's
nice
great.
to see you all here. This is a very different thing we're doing. The structure, though, will remain the same. We're going to thank our art people and our sponsors. We're going to go through our announcements and then a theme song that maybe I'll reverse or get Cullen to change the key or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out later. Before we get started, we do have a couple of people to thank. The artwork is done by Sarah M. Shunky. You can find her at Sarah M. Shunky on Instagram. The maps are done by Little With the Cartographer, and the music is lovingly crafted by Cullen Vance. You can go to cullenvancecreative.com, stream all of his music on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you stream it, or buy his albums there. Very good. Also, a special thanks to my wife, Nat. She goes by Nat20Wife. You can find her on all social media accounts. And then we want to thank our sponsor, therookandtheraven.com. For all of your TTRPG note-taking needs, you can go to therookandtheraven.com and get some really cool notebooks. I'm so used to my players holding them up and modeling, I almost reverted back to my old script, and then I realized we don't have any for any of you. I'm
Wow,
going to see if
Bush
I can
League.
correct that. I do feel a little bad, so we're going to figure that out later. Um, we are off to destroy the dead marshes. Is everybody ready?
I
Yeah.
mean, when you
Oh
say
yeah.
ready,
Ready? I
what do
mean,
you mean
are
by
we
that?
fighting? Are we
Yeah.
planning? Like, what's
I
going
I
on?
feel like we have come here under false pretenses, Don Marshall. That's what I think. I think that
True
this
story.
is this is not what I thought was going to happen today. That's fine.
Let's go. And welcome back. Now, bit of a recap since it's been many weeks and potentially months since you all have played this TTRPG together. We are using the One Ring system by Free League Publishing, and you all, playing your respective characters, met up in Rohan with a number of armies that were ready to seemingly march given enough notice. Grimbjorn, you had discussed the possibility of going to turn yourself into Gwai here to ensure the safety of your children with the Blue Wizards, only for it to be revealed that the mind of one of the wizards, Alatar, had been corrupted. And my goodness, wasn't that just the worst moment ever? But then Radagast rolled a Gandalf critical success, so I had to give up the ghost a little too quick there. Eowyn, you were crowned queen as your cousin Theodred abdicated the throne of Rohan after seeing everything you did for a really long time. And Halbarad, you were there too. No, I'm kidding.
I
You
was
marched.
forgotten about.
No, it's been many. It's actually been more than a year since Halbarad, in real time, Justin, since we did this. Halbarad, you started your journey south with a number of elves, as well as what remains of the armed forces of the Dunedain. You all find yourself in Rohan, and after a council agreed that there was going to be some sort of march on, recon of, investigation of the dead marshes using the one and only Gollum, who was to act as a guide. As Eowyn, you looked into the Palantir and discovered that you have a little bit less than 8 days to make sure that everything and everyone you love is safe, because they're marching. Gwaihir's army is going to march. His lieutenant Shelob has given you overheard when you rolled your, again, critical success on scrying on the Palantir, that mental fortitude. You discovered that there is an army that is going to be marching. Where, you do not know. When, you know you have about 8 days. So the question to you all remains, where within the Dead Marshes are you going, or are you following Gollum? When are you leaving? And who are you bringing with you? Is this a full army discussion, or is this a recon? Now, I am going to start us sort of in scene and in character, and we can kind of work our way from there to the travel portion, and then from the travel portion, the either scouting portion or the fighting portion, or anything you also choose. We can kind of pivot from one to the next. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right.
Great.
You all begin to find yourself in the, let's call it early morning. The party has already left. You three awaken and are brought into the temple, or excuse me, the tent of, no temples to Glorfindel, Glorfindel's tent. As he looks around at you three who were at the council, you also see Alatar and Palando, the blue wizards, there. And he's going to look at you and say, the rest of them have left on the mission to the paths of the dead. But what will you all do? When are you leaving? With your armies? Without them? Are you sending scouts?
Number one, where's Gollum?
Gollum is currently tied up under watch.
He's tied up under watch.
Yeah.
I would like to untie him.
He's not there with you. You'd have to go
Can he come with us?
You wanna have him be there at the important council?
Like in the meeting,
like in the council meeting.
I mean, I honestly can see the merits of it.
Okay.
I would maybe I don't
want to
put him on a leash or something.
Here's the thing. What if we choose a path and Gollum's like, oh, you should have went right instead of left or whatever.
He's going to act as a guide. You get the impression that he's going to act as a guide for you all.
Okay. Logistical question. What do our numbers look like at the moment, like today?
Right. So you have several thousand shield maidens of Rohan and Rohirrim. You have several hundred elves, several hundred Dunedain, and a bear man.
Okay. And the wizards, are they here too?
The two blue wizards are there as well. Yes, Alatar and Palando are also at this table.
Where's the brown one?
Oh, Radagast is not there.
I'm concerned.
Where's Radagast? What's he doing?
Where the fuck is Radagast?
As you all sort of look around, Alatar looks at you all and says, he's sleeping in. He was helping us with a spell last night. And he looks truthful. No insight checks needed.
I'm gonna need Radagast.
Okay, yeah.
Here to be.
You want him to wake up?
I walk over to Radagast's tent and drag him out. Not playing this shit anymore. No.
Wake up! You have a meeting.
I'm exhausted. What? Buddy? Why is this brute dragging me out of bed?
I resent that.
That.
Okay, I take a bucket of water, the nearest bucket of water, and I splash on him.
The smell emanating from him wafts to the rest of you as wet bird dung and any number of flowers and soiled clothes that have died and withered begin to emanate throughout the tent.
You done? I look at Radagast and say that.
Kind of shakes himself off, remains silent. Indignant.
I point to the tent. Let's go. Come on. We're not
he's inside. He's inside.
Okay.
You get in there. Glorfindel looking at the rest of you. Thank you for joining us, Radagast. Very well. The Dead Marshes. This creature is to act as your guide. When will you leave?
How many days does it take to get to the marshes?
Well, it depends. There are 2 rivers we need to ford. Taking our full armies on horseback, it would take time. We would need to lay our rivers, and I assume the bridges are out. I do not know if we could bring our full force there in 8 days. Scouts, a few on horseback. 2 days, perhaps.
DM Don Marshall, canonically, where are we right now?
Right. You are in Rohan. So you are in Rohan. just a little bit further south than Edoras along that mountain range. You are in a place called the Dwimmerberg, also called Dunharrow.
Okay.
It's got a couple of names in that area.
I'm
So,
looking at the actual map.
So like from a logistics
cool.
standpoint, the armies would need to somehow cross two portions of the river to get to the dead marshes. Now you have a number of ways that you can get there. You can also go through the Emyn Moil, which is where Frodo and Sam had all those rocks where they first met Gollum in the Two Towers.
I would like to ask the Blue Wizards.
Okay.
How much of the plan does Guai here know, if at all?
Alatar looks at you and says, he ensnared my mind for days, but always there was a barrier. I cannot say what of our council he knows, but I think it is best to assume he knows we're coming. The question is, who is coming, and how, and when? And that is what we are here to decide.
Eowyn will sort of stand up and step forward from where she'd been sitting and listening. And she'll say, I mean, when I looked into the Palantir, as ill-advised as that may have been, what I saw, the point is that we need to know what they're doing. I don't think this is a matter for a 1,000 men strong. I think we or some scouts need to go and see if what I saw was real and true, because that will inform what we do next.
You think perhaps it was trickery, that there is no army there?
I don't know. I mean, I was undetected until I wasn't. And I don't know the extent of his power or his trickery, and I cannot in good conscience send 1,000 men to their death if it was just a trick of the mind. I would suggest that us four go and spare the lives of anyone else we may endanger if this is in fact a trick or some sort of deception.
I don't think we should separate. I don't think it's a good idea to like separate you.
As you
how Brad say
as you Justin, as Katie finishes, or as Eowyn finishes up, Eowyn, you feel the scars of the slashes from Gwaihir's talon strike against you start to tingle just a little bit, almost as if your memory is recalling the moment you were discovered and wondering whether or not it was real. You can sort of feel the logic emanating from what you're saying, but at that moment you're gonna hear Alatar pop up and say, despite my misgivings, I am inclined to agree with Halbarad. We cannot lose two of the leaders of the armies unless you both are willing to.
I mean, perhaps a small group for protection, but if we're trying to go and see what Gwaihir is doing, I think an army would be noticed, and we don't have much time. A few dozen can travel much more quickly than bringing all of the shield maidens and all of the riders of Rohan. That just makes logical sense to me.
You're gonna hear Glorfindel clear his throat. Grimbjorn, are you faster than a horse?
When I choose to be.
I dare not ask it of you, but if you will freely transform, speed is of the essence, and if Lady Eowyn is assured of her plan, Perhaps it is possible that a small group could travel unseen. He
And
already knows we're coming, Albarad.
he knows that we're coming. And I'm worried that not splitting our army in any degree, if we leave some people behind, we're gonna waste time trying to get them a message to come all the way to the Dead Marshes. Does that
I
make
can
sense,
use
Katie?
the fireflies.
Are they quick? How are the fireflies quick?
When they need to be.
Grimborn, how do you feel about this plan? You going out?
Well, I'm not usually the most quiet, but I can move fast.
We can fix that. I can help you be quiet. And we have a guide.
Very well.
Maybe we should move on ahead and swift as the army follows at their own pace.
If you two are willing, looking at you, Halbarad, and you, Eowyn, to entrust your armies to my care,
I'm
I shall see them safely.
concerned. I'm concerned about Eowyn's certainty in her uncertainty.
I understand what you're saying. And I'm very distracted by the way that my digital background keeps fucking. You know what? We're done. I'm changing it. I can't.
For those listening
It's
on the
too
podcast
distracting.
version,
It's so annoying. You know what? Okay, everybody watching at home, now you know my office is dirty. All right, moving on.
Everyone's office is dirty. Everyone's office is dirty. That's literally the room my cats. Never mind. Anyway,
it's fine. I was rearranging stuff and then I stopped anyway.
It's okay. Eowyn will.
So Eowyn will kind of like nod thoughtfully, and she'll say, "It's not that I'm uncertain. I know what I saw, and I believe it to be true. But I don't know if I can trust what I believe anymore. And I am unwilling to lead my people into certain death on a vision that may or may not have been real. It felt real, it seemed real. But and she kind of like throws up her hands. She says, I'm now queen. The responsibility falls to me, and I will not lead my people into danger without trusting that it's true.
You would charge headlong into battle, and this is Glorfindel, first.
I would put myself in danger's way before my people. Yes. And I need to see it with my own eyes. And I need to know that this is the right choice to make.
Very well. Bring Radagast and Gollum with you. And report back
Radagast.
He will need the fireflies. Unless you have another means of communication over hundreds of leagues, Albarad. Kind of looking at you knowingly, like he knows you don't.
Idea.
And it was an admirable one.
Okay.
Very well.
All right.
Grimbjorn, in your own time. If now any of you would like to make some preparations, the council is going to continue deliberating amongst themselves, the wizards and Glorfindel. Is there anything or anyone you would like to speak to, or things to organize logistically before you leave?
The other group left already, right? So
they
like
did
Tario
already,
and
yes.
Snell, they're all gone.
Yeah, they're gone.
Okay.
Where's Rayval?
Rayval is at his tent. You want to talk to Rayval?
Is he still here?
Yeah, he's still here.
Okay. I'm gonna talk to Rayval.
All right, yeah. You guys find Rayval sitting in the sort of mess hall tent that provides food. Lord Halbarad, Grimbjorn, Queen Eowyn, Your Majesty. What brings you all here?
You in or you out?
I beg your pardon?
Scouting party. I heard you're fast. Do you
The
want to come or
swiftest.
not?
Yes. Yes, I do. To the dead marshes.
You're not afraid of spiders. You're not afraid of giant creatures or anything, giant fiery birds. If we find any of those, you're not going to split tail and run.
Master Halbarad, the spiders in my forest are as big as you. No, I do not fear them. Besides, it will give me a chance to redeem myself. I will watch over the creature golem for you, prove to my lady that I have not failed.
Uh,
Again.
uh, can I, where's Timothy?
Timothy's just off training with the rest of the Dunedain.
I have a better idea.
Okay.
I'm going to point Raval's head at Timothy.
Mm-hmm.
You see that boy?
Yes.
If he dies, you die. I changed my mind. I
You
want you to protect him with your life, but he can't know.
make a persuasion check. Jesus.
Okay. Persuasion. Oh, only a one die. So that's a D12 and a D6.
Mm-hmm. And you
All
got to beat
right.
your target number.
My target number is 12. This is
Okay. You got to
fine.
beat
This
a
is fine.
12. Katie, I see your finger on your. Oh,
Okay. I have
okay.
a 9 and a 4.
Okay. A 9 and a 4. He looks up at you and goes, very well. I shall play babysitter.
I slap him across the face.
Goodbye, Master Halbarad. And he walks off. Katie, you put your
He's not a
finger on your nose
baby.
like you had to remember something.
I did. I don't
Yeah.
know if this should be an in-game thing or an
Let's
out-of-game
see.
thing.
Let's see what happens.
But I have a question for you, Don Marshall, knower of Lord of the Rings facts. So I'm looking at this map here. I'm looking at this here,
Map.
Middle Earth map.
Yeah,
And you
yeah.
said that we're in Rohan, right?
You're in
And we're
Rohan.
going to take one of the rivers, right?
So you will need to cross at least 2 of the rivers. So you have the Entwash, which is closest to you.
Yeah.
And then there is also the Anduin River. You can go north of the Delta. You can go through the Delta. You can go south of the Delta. The
Well,
south will take you closer to Minas
what
Tirith.
if, I'm just throwing this out here, what if we crossed at Sarn Ford and we met up
I don't
with
know
the
what that is.
Rangers of the North and we got them to help us?
Would
The
I know about that?
We could cross at Baranduin, right?
You-
Hypothetically?
So you want to see if you can hang out with Faramir's Rangers.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I
So
do.
those are the Rangers of Ithilien. The Rangers of the North are Halbarad's people. I just wanted to make sure that
Okay.
you were talking about. Okay, so based on the reports that you know,
Hold on.
Ithilien is
Okay.
also probably pretty dangerous. It
Okay.
is possible to do that. But yeah, no, I know where Sarn Ford is. Not
Okay.
to
No,
yeah,
I know. I'm just dropping that deep lore in the chat for
Yeah.
the non-map.
Or wait, no, hang
nerds.
on. Sarn Ford is the is in the. Are you thinking San Gabir? Because
No.
Sarnford is by the Shire.
Is it? Okay,
Yeah,
maybe I was
Sarnford
just
is
wrong
by
the
the
whole time.
Shire.
Never mind.
Sarn Gabir is the.
JK, I'm bad at maps.
I
It's
know.
fine.
I know what you're trying to get to Faramir's place where he captured Frodo and Sam.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, cool. So, so like theoretically you can do that, but you'd go up. No, you'd go south, cross the river once, and then go up north to the Dead Marshes. Through.
Okay, that seems
Not
like a long
quite.
trip for nothing. Never mind. I thought it was going to be like right there, but never mind.
No worries. No worries.
JK.
Yeah, that's fine. That's why we're here. So anything else Grimbjorn or Eowyn would like to do before we depart?
Who is left in camp right now?
Right now you have Bilbo that you've spoken to. You have
Okay.
Allah, your right hand man.
Okay.
There are any number of Dunedain or blacksmiths or elves that are just sort of there but not named. If you're looking for something specific, we could maybe see if that would
Mm.
work.
I think I don't need to do anything super specific, but I think Eowyn is gonna just sort of like prep, sharpen her sword, do all the
Mhm.
usual stuff.
Yeah.
And then she's gonna take some time to write a letter, um, and seal it with like the official seal of Rohan.
Hmm.
And she's gonna go find Allah.
Okay.
And she's gonna sort of explain the situation. I'll save you that. And
Oh,
then
we might want to role play this then, because your brother and cousin might.
I mean,
So,
it's up to
how are you
you.
doing this? How are you doing
Oh,
this exactly? You're telling Allah you're leaving, and this letter
yeah,
is what exactly?
yeah. And then I'm just gonna say to Allah, say, I I don't think there will be too much danger, but given the world we're in now, one never knows. And so, if anything is to happen to me, um, if you do not get word within 10 days, make sure this letter finds its way to Tanel. And I'll just hand it to her.
And Allah's gonna look right up at you, take the letter. You are leaving, my queen?
For now, I will return or I will send word. But we're going to scout ahead because I do not know what lies ahead. But I cannot risk the safety of all of Rohan on what I know not to be true. So I'm making that choice.
My father always said, a good leader leads from the front, not from behind, giving orders, but by setting an example.
I don't know if I am an example to follow, but I don't think I could ever lead from behind. So I'll see you later, all right? Be safe. Don't do anything stupid, all right?
Even if I do, you know I won't tell you.
I like ruffle her hair.
Be safe. And just be safe. Okay. Grimbjorn, anything?
I'll go find Bilbo.
Yes, Master Grimbjorn. A pleasure. What can I help you with?
Well, I had come to say goodbye, my old friend.
Oh, leaving so soon?
Just as swiftly as we found ourselves in the same place again, we're off on another adventure, it seems.
So it would seem. When this is all over, you and I will sit and smoke a while. Hmm?
I'm very much looking forward to that. I know
Hmm.
you have many more stories to tell, and I'm excited to hear them.
That I do. I'm sure you've got some yourself.
And I'll have more, I'm sure.
Oh, you better remember every detail, my boy.
Sharp as ever, my friend.
Hmm. Like the edge of a sword, Master Grimbjorn. The edge, yes, of a sword. Farewell. And he, small as he is, hugs like your right thigh, and you just kind of feel his old wispy hairs nudge up against the bottom of your palm as you pat his head.
No, till we meet again, my friend.
Yes, yes, I'm sure we will. Farewell.
Goodbye.
Uh, and as you make your exit, I am now going to, if it's all right, move to the travel portion of this as you make your way. I will say, however, before we get into the roles of the actual travel, as you are all gathering atop or getting ready to go, you're all sort of circled around. Eowyn, Eomer is going to come up to you. I forbid it.
I'm queen.
I
I
will.
outrank you.
Rank is not an important. This is not a laughing matter, Eowyn. Rank be damned. Where
What
are
do
you
you
off
want?
to?
What do you want me to do?
Send me.
Send. Why? I need
You
you
are,
here.
you are too important to these people.
You are too important to these people.
The hope you provide them is nothing compared to mine.
And what hope can I give to them if I send them into imminent death for no reason?
Make a
The
persuasion check
hope.
for me. Oh,
I
make.
am not a symbol. I am not a statue. I am not a thing to be beheld and uplifted. I am of Rohan. These are my people, and I will keep them safe. I know what I saw. I believe what I saw. But I have to know. I cannot. I will not act otherwise. And I love you and I respect you, but you will not change my mind. The matter is done. I am going, and that is all.
Persuasion check for me.
What is that?
You know what? I'll
Wicked?
give you advantage on that one. That was a
That's
good
fine.
speech.
That is not enough to be persuasive.
Not enough. All right.
I would like to do a belly laugh,
Okay.
and I walk up behind Eowyn.
Hmm.
I'm like, is there a problem?
A family matter, I assure you, Master Halberad.
I want to do like a really like an hockaloogie at his feet.
Rude.
Is there a problem? Or are you gonna saddle up?
Oh, am I invited on your merry band of misfits?
I'm not gonna stop you, but I don't have time for your family business shit. We gotta go.
I
Make a
trust your
persuasion check.
sword. I trust your judgment.
Okay. Make a persuasion.
Make a persuasion check for me. I'll let you try
And
it.
in the hope of like, look, I'm not here to argue. If you're gonna argue about it, saddle up and let's go.
Suit up or get out of our way. Yeah.
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 That's a 4 and a 4.
4 and a 4. Okay. It's gonna look down at you. Stern, hard look. And I say look down on you, but you're about the same height. He's squaring up as well. You know the look. I think Tank probably knows the look better than most because he was an MMA fighter, but like there's some tension here. If she comes to any harm, I will personally see to your doom.
Sounds
And
good.
Bjorn will just walk up and put his hand on his shoulder, kind of from behind. Hey, friend, you have nothing to worry about. She will not fall before I do, and I will make sure she is safe before I leave this realm, my friend.
Bjorn's gonna look up at you, slightly intimidated, and you know the look because you're a little more than human. Look down at you, Eowyn. You know how to ride a bear.
Eowyn's gonna look at like all of these people who are like now in this conversation.
Yeah, Radagast, Gollum, they're all
and just be like, I find this tedious. I appreciate the concern, but I am going. And if any harm comes to me, it shall be. And if any harm comes to you, and she'll look at him, say, I will find you and I will end your life myself. I am just as worried about you as you are of me. So let's just agree that we will be smart, we will be safe, we will be wise, and we will, I don't know, hold our sword with honor. I'm not good with speeches. Can we please just leave? You're not going to talk me out of this. I'm sorry.
He looks down, grunts, looks at you, Halberad, looks up at you, Grimbjorn. I'm coming with you. And he goes to grab his own things, and you see him come back a little bit later, fully armored up. Says, "Are we ready?"
Um, I just roll my eyes and I walk back to my horse and I shoulder check Eowyn, and I'm like, "You sound like a prick." And I get up on my horse and start riding.
Are you riding the horse, or you?
It's like, yeah.
No, that's a compliment. Viewers will get that joke, but
Yeah, you will. That's a callback to episode 4, 5.
does it count? Does it count against the HP of the final
No, it
boss
doesn't
if it's
count against the
referencing the
HP.
party?
You're fine. You're fine.
Wasn't even there for that episode.
I know.
Good. Good. You don't have to catch
You're
up.
being all right. Grimbjorn, you turning into a bear?
Yep, we're going swift.
All right. So here's how this is going to work. We are going to make a number of travel checks. Those checks are going to determine the level of difficulty, the encounters you may or may not have, the different things that you may find or see along the way. Before that, though, Grimbjorn, I am going to ask, you transforming into bear form does kind of go against some of the things that you had previously said, and being so close to the time where you sort of said, I don't want to transform anymore, or I won't. Do you feel the need to ease into it, or is it happening very swiftly?
I would say he thought long and hard about it, and the sacrifice that Aluith did to help him preserve that side of himself and gain more control of it. And um, due to the dire need to be fast in our shortened timeline, he will transform into it.
Right. Please go ahead and make an awareness check with advantage, or with favor, excuse me, please. So
Also,
2d12s. Yep.
Grimbjorn, is there anything that like we could do to like ground you? Like, I don't
Does
want to
a
say like
tartan work?
Eowyn rides the bear, but like, you know what I mean? Like, is there some way that we could like assist in that with like keeping you safe?
Let's say having someone on my side riding
Mm-hmm.
would be a
Dibs.
constant reminder of where I need to be and have more control. I would say just as like logistically.
All right. Yeah. Um, okay. Yeah, we'll work that in mechanically
Yeah.
if the need arises. Meantime, Grimbjorn, what'd you get on your awareness check with advantage or with favor?
That is 15.
And that beats your target number?
Yeah.
All right. The first time you transform after Hallowith's spell, you feel a resurgence of fear, but not the call. It is that sort of anxiety that just happens before any, like leading up to a big event. The anxiety is almost worse than the event itself. And you remain somehow more powerful in this not new form, but new mentality as you feel yourself growing bigger. And the power emanating from you is almost palpable, because the rest of you are going to watch as Grimbjorn grows to what you would assume to be his normal size, and then bigger, and then bigger, and then bigger, until you were sort of at the point where it was going to be tough if Aomer was going to be there, but you can fit that many people on the bear. He's big. And Grimbjorn, this is like nothing you've ever felt before, but it feels pretty good and it doesn't feel evil. Oh,
Cool.
well, actually, as you begin to roar, you hear guttural throat clearing, but something's different.
Can he
Grimbjorn,
talk?
please make me an insight check for me and do it with favor.
Oh no, what's inside?
Heart. You have to beat your heart score.
Where is it? Oh, my insight. I thought I had worse insight. That just barely hit.
Hit
So
your
I'm
target
actually, yeah.
hit your target number. You say roar and try to roar, and it comes out as a human attempting to roar.
What? What?
The rest of you hear Grimbjorn beginning to talk.
This,
Grimbjorn?
uh, this is odd.
You all can hear that, yes?
Quiet here. I draw my sword.
No, wait.
I I am not used to this. This
Fascinating. And you see Radagast comes up close to you. What are you feeling, my boy? Oh, this is remarkable. Were you always this big? It seemed as though you grew before.
Erwin will like mom arm. It's like, give him space. Grimbjorn, are you all right?
I am more than all right. I feel stronger. I feel a lot bigger. You guys have shrunk, or I have gotten larger. This is strange, but
Well,
good.
Tell us something only the real Grimborn would know.
Uh,
Grimbjorn, you think back to your first encounter and realize that a small child almost shot an arrow at you and you tackled Grimbjorn.
oh, my friend, you are hefty, but I took you down in our first encounter, and little Timothy needs to work on his accuracy.
I guess it checks out.
It is remarkable. Truly, we must talk, but later we have places to be and things to do, and oh, you're going to be much faster now. And we're going to go ahead and smash cut there to all of you. And I mean Eowyn, Halbarad, Eomer, Gollum, and Radagast as you make your way along the borders of Rohan towards where you need to get to. Now, we're going to go ahead and take our 5-minute break here, but when we come back, the journey there and the scouting, we'll see you in 5 minutes. And welcome back. When we last left off, our players had successfully convinced those that they needed to get somewhere and quickly. Grimbjorn, you grew to, I'm gonna say, about 2.5 to 3 times your normal size. Everyone climbed on your back. You're able to look at some trees and be like, wow, I can see the top a lot closer from here. What's gonna happen? Um, we're now going to make a series of rolls. These rolls are going to determine your encounters throughout. Now, really good rolls mean you make it there in like 5 minutes and you don't encounter anything and you're just doing whatever. Bad rolls are going to mean anything from injuries to battles to skirmishes to being sighted to anything. The first thing I will ask before we start, though, and this is a conversation for you three, how are you getting there? Because you have a number of options, and I'll give you sort of the 3 general ones. And if you would like to talk amongst yourselves, you can. So you can go along the mountains south and sort of go underneath the river. That would mean you would only cross the river at one point, but closer to Minas Tirith. So you're a little bit closer to the danger. You could cut through the marsh, so you'd be going through the Entwash River and then the deltas. That's basically straight across, not further south. That would mean you would cross the river multiple times, so more wet, but also a little bit more boggy, more difficult terrain, but less chance of being spotted because there's more cover. North is crossing the Entwash, sort of up over by the Emyn Moil and the waterfall where Boromir fled, basically where Frodo and Sam go. You could potentially go north to get there as well. And I'll leave that up to the 3 of you to discuss. I'm happy to provide any details you may want for what might offer additional benefits or hazards.
What does Smeagol think?
Smeagol is probably gonna not have much to contribute for this particular portion since he knows the dead marsh as well. I don't think he's ever been quite this way extensively enough to know the terrain.
What is the fastest route?
The fastest route for you would be through, if Grimbjorn is not bogged down by difficult terrain, it would be straight across. Quickest distance between 2 points is a straight line, and you just need to go in a straight line from where you are. And so that would take you through the Entwash, through the, if you pull up a map of Middle-earth on your computer or something, through the little deltas with many rivers to cross, many tinier rivers to cross, and then through the other river. Just after the waterfall.
Is there a way I can assist him with my travel score?
Yeah, so the way this is going to work is we're going to make basically checks to see how well you all are keeping lookout for Grimbjorn, any pitfalls you might see, traps, people watching you, animals watching you, anything like that. But that's going to be sort of no matter where you go, you're in danger of having that. The question is, what dangers lie in which specific area you choose?
Do we have, based on the visions that Eowyn had and just like general terrain?
Yeah,
I
no,
think
go
that's
ahead.
the right word.
No, what's your
Do
question?
we have like any inkling of places where like Gwaihir might have like scouts or like watching out guys?
Yeah, I think lookouts. The word you're
That's
looking
the
for is
word I
lookouts, and
want.
I
Yes,
love that
thank
for
you.
you. I think you would gather, and I'm gonna, refer back to your Gandalf so many sessions ago when you successfully peered and discovered things. You would probably guess that the Delta area, the middle part, has been encroached on the most, that the scouts will be further out if you were to go in a straight line. So basically, if we want to divide it up into three, the north part, the middle part, and the south part. The south part is closest to Minas Tirith, and who knows what's going on there because very few do. The middle part is where the scouts would be the most, so you would have to avoid them if you want to try and do this sneakily. The other portion to go north may cause you to need to go around the Emyn Muil, which is the stone place where Frodo and Sam were in the Two Towers. Those would probably have less scouts because you can't really see too much. The jagged peaks kind of prevent a lot of like farsight there. So you'd have way more cover, but it would take you a little bit more time because you'd be traversing a very steep terrain.
I mean, it makes the most sense to me to just go straight, like quick as you can. But I don't know. What do you all think?
And that is the route that's going to make us run into lots of lookouts, correct? Right?
That is correct, yes. So you have the north option, which is difficult terrain, but less scouts. You have the middle, which is more scouts and some difficult terrain, but it is the quickest way. You also have Minas Tirith, which is a bit of an unknown at this point to you.
I'm down for the unknown. What could possibly
Yeah,
go wrong?
I think I changed my vote to Minas Tirith, honestly.
What is that Minas Tirith? As someone who is
Unclear at this point to you all. The best sort of summation you can say is that Gwaihir, you would know right now, is that Gwaihir's influence has grown and that there are rumors of a forest that has moved into the Minas Tirith area. But beyond that, you have very little.
is that the one? Is that Denethor?
That is where Denethor is, yes. But
Oh, fuck that guy. Let's go.
Denethor's
Let's go fuck his shit up.
Denethor's dead. Sorry. So
Oh, he's
you would
dead?
know that. Yeah, this was revealed like way beginning of. Oh wait, actually, hang on. Have we revealed? Yeah.
Spoiler.
No,
Dog.
no. The letters episode, Denethor. I'll cut this if it's not, but yeah, Denethor is dead. Faramir is ruling in his place as steward.
Oh, that's why we want to go to Minas Tirith for Faramir.
Well, you wouldn't go to Minas Tirith. You would just be close to Minas Tirith.
Yeah.
Fair. Do we care about recruitment at all in this point of our journey? Are we just knocking
I would
heads?
say that this is not the
We don't have
time to
time.
recruit
Yeah.
them.
We don't care about
you're on a scouting mission. Your job is to get there, get the Fireflies to tell everyone that we are either good to go or get out. It's a trap.
I am confident in Grimbjorn's ability to get us there through the deltas.
Yeah.
And we will assist him. I'm assuming, is there like an assist
Yes,
role with my travel skills?
I'll explain them. Yeah, I'll explain the mechanics as we go.
I vote for speed.
Yeah.
Speed.
Yeah. I think that's the safest bet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So, in taking the sort of the marshier area by the Entwash, what you are going to do now is make a series of rolls. They are going to get more difficult as we get closer to the dead marshes. The first day, I am going to ask first Grimbjorn. You are going to make me a series of checks. The first is, and I'll give you this on the first day because we'll say it's the morning you've just transformed and you're on your way. Please make me. This is going to be an athletics check to see how much distance you can cover. While Grimbjorn does that, I would like Eowyn and Halbarad. And the rest of them, I'll roll for the NPCs as well for Eomer and Radagast and Gall. Well, maybe not Gall. I would like you can choose. You can make either a scan check to keep a lookout. You can make an awareness check to avoid any potential pitfalls. And you can also make an explore check. And what that will do is that will potentially let you see any shortcuts. So a scan check will reveal enemies, an awareness check will reveal any terrain, and an explore check will reveal any potential shortcuts or hidden dangers.
I'll do a scan check.
Okay, scan check, Eowyn and Halbarad.
I got a 24.
24.
So, yeah.
Okay, that's a great roll. All right, so that's round one. Halbarad, what'd you get?
I got 2 6s. Does that mean anything?
So when you roll 6s on the d6s, that is an extra success. So there's an extra degree of success to your roll. What ability did you pick?
Awareness.
Awareness. All right, so you're making an awareness check.
12
okay.
plus.
Oh, I also had a 6. I always forget about.
Oh, fantastic! Oh no,
you can't let me have anything.
I know. I'm
that's
sorry.
better. Better.
I got a 25 total.
25 total. Grimbjorn, how's that athletics?
26.
Oh my goodness. All right, you guys are
Hooray.
absolutely crushing it. I'm not even going to bother rolling for the rest. You spend the first leg of this journey with absolutely no problem. You manage to run faster than you ever have before. Wind in your hair. You're stronger. You're faster. You're more agile despite being larger than you're used to. But instantly your body just breaks into its natural rhythm. And the rest of you riding on this bear are going to feel this. If you've ever ridden a horse, there's a certain rhythm you get into in the gallop, and it just begins to feel natural. You're one with nature. You're one with the animal you're riding. And there's a connection that you all sort of feel together as you manage to make really good time this first day. The question I have for you during the day, as the evening approaches, is: are you going to continue to travel at night? And what that would mean is, Grimbjorn, you would make another athletics check, but with ill favor, and then any scan or explore checks would also be made with ill favor. However, you will continue to move.
I think we gotta go through the night. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I don't like it, but I think sitting in one spot is
It's a bad idea.
probably more ill-advised than just trying to move slowly and quietly. I don't know. What do you think?
I trust your judgment. I'm fine. I'm feeling great.
All right.
Okay, let's go ahead and keep going. No worries, Katie. We got you. For
I'm
those
doing
listening on,
so good.
You are. For those listening on the podcast, Katie is not feeling well today and is graciously pushing through and just sneezed. I imagine that was the most
Crushing
powerful
the
sneeze
game.
you've ever had.
It was a really satisfying sneeze.
Felt epic just watching
Yeah.
it. Thank you for muting your microphone, though. Okay, so this is now going to be through the night of that first day. Please go ahead, and if you would like to change anything up, if you would like to say, I don't want to make these scans, or I don't want to make this check, I'd actually like to do this, let me know. But in the meantime, I am going to ask Grimbjorn, please go ahead and make me an athletics check with ill favor, and then Eowyn and Halbarad.
Ill favor, we just take the lowest of 2, right?
The lower of the 2 d12s, yes.
Oh, so we rolled 2 d12s. Interesting.
Yes, ill favor is 2 d12s. You take the worse of the 2.
All right. What could
My
possibly
dice
go on?
won't roll.
Well,
They keep just falling off my desk.
That's fair.
Oh dear.
I
Grimbjorn,
got 17.
17. All right.
3. Math is hard. 4 plus 5 plus 5.
So 14.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I just made it. I got a 16.
16. Okay. This second day, this one's a little rough. This evening, it's dark. It's the light sources that might have worked, any reflective surfaces, it's rough. The moonlight is kind of sparse through the clouds. Grimbjorn, you start to begin to plod and you feel the first river crossing, and the river is not necessarily deep for you, but it is deep enough that there is some struggle as you attempt to cross the Entwash and make your way closer towards it. I'm going to ask everybody holding on to the bear, which is myself included as the NPCs, please go ahead and make an athletics check for me as you attempt to cross this river so that you can hold on. Grimbjorn, if any of them fail, you are going to have an opportunity to help. So you are not helpless here. Eowyn.
I got 5.
Okay. Halbarad, you're muted.
On your athletics?
Yeah, it was not a good roll.
Are you not athletic?
No, because you roll. Okay, just so I know that I'm doing this right. You roll a d12 and then d6s in your dots, right?
Yes, the number of diamonds that are filled in.
I got a 2 and a 4 and a 2.
So 6.
Wow.
So that's a 6.
Yeah.
That's a 6.
I got a 15.
Oh wait, no, a 2, a 4, and a 2 is 8.
Yeah, my target is 11. So.
Okay.
Womp womp.
Halbarad, did you?
I got a 15 and I beat my target number.
Okay, 15. All right, so
I
here's
pulled my weight.
Yeah. All right, here's Gollum. 5,
I swear
10.
to God.
Easily. Gollum hangs on. Radagast stays on. That's 23. All right, go Radagast. And Eomer. Eomer stays on. Okay, so Eowyn.
Yeah.
This water's cold.
Absolute nightmare.
There's this one part where Grimbjorn's foot just kind of goes out from under him as a rock kind of causes him to trip, but you get splashed with that water and it's so cold you sort of release your hand almost instinctively and you let go just fast enough that it begins to feel like you're falling as you lose your grip. And I'm going to ask real quick, Grimbjorn, I'm going to have Eomer make an attempt at an athletics check. I would like you to please make an awareness check with favor to see if you notice Eowyn falling off.
If I have to get saved by Eomer, that's going to be so embarrassing.
Yeah. Well, he's the one that's going to go after you.
No. Let's give him
I
a whole
rolled
speech about how I can handle myself.
11 and 2 1s. So
which is a 13.
Which beats my number. But
yes, it
1s,
does.
But,
okay. Yeah. Oof. Okay. So that's good because Eomer failed his athletics check. Grimbjorn, you begin to feel a strong tug on your fur, stronger than ever before, and you look back and Eowyn is dangling mere inches from the water that is moving. Like if she falls in, it's going to be a whole big problem. Halbarad, you I think would be closest, so I will allow you and Grimbjorn to make checks separately or together if you would like to try and help Eowyn. What are the two of you doing?
It depends on how we're helping Eowyn, right?
Yes, I mean you want to not have her fall in the water is the goal.
No.
I do have that spear.
You do?
I just want to let's see if Eowyn can grab onto the spear.
Okay.
It's my longest weapon.
Yeah, go ahead and make an athletics check.
Okay.
I swear to God, if I lose my one good spear,
I promise you won't. I will die before your spear goes.
Don't you do that to me. Don't you do that to me, Katie.
Am I adding my spear point to this?
No, you are not.
Okay.
This is just a straight
fine.
athletics
It's 11
check.
plus 5 plus 9, so 20. 20?
20?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm good.
Okay, 20.
I got a 9, a 1, a 5, and a 4. So 18,
Right,
19.
All right, great. Grimbjorn, as you see this, you try to go to help Eowyn. How is Grimbjorn in bear form attempting to sort of help as you see Halbarad throw out a spear for her to reach up for?
I'm gonna reach back with like a paw to like go under her foot or
Okay,
her
so
butt
provides. Okay, yeah, no,
and
provide some
like lift
stability.
up. Yeah.
Sure, sure, sure. I would like you then to go ahead and make me another athletics check because in removing one of your paws, you sort of start to lose that firm hold you had to cross this river.
Sorry, guys, it biffed it.
16.
16?
Yeah.
16 passes. Eowyn, you feel from behind you this, oh, okay. And you were grabbing on and lifting up, and his bare arm only goes so far back because joints are a thing. But you successfully make it back onto the bear, and you all continue on your way. Eowyn, you want to say anything to the group or to Halbarad at this moment?
Yeah, I think I'll just call out and say, thank you. This is not as easy of a journey as I perhaps thought. I appreciate it.
I got my spear back, right?
You got your spear back.
I sheath my spear, whatever.
Nope. Nope.
How do
Just
you
on your
sheath a
back.
spear?
You
It's on my
don't. It's on your back. It's on your back.
I put my spear on my back. I don't say anything. I just keep riding.
Just
Grimbjorn.
leave on red.
Make sure to stay warm. Stay warm, my friend.
Aomer is gonna look over at you and just shake his head and grunt. Keep looking off into the night. We are now going to move towards the next morning. We'll say you guys have your rest. Grimbjorn, you get the number of hours of sleep a giant bear needs in human form to recover. So you're all good there.
During this journey,
Yeah.
can I ask a
No, go
question?
ahead. Yeah, go
During
ahead.
this journey, can I talk to Radagast?
Yeah. If you guys want to have conversations on the bear, we can play that out. Absolutely. Let's do that.
I would like to make a genuine effort to understand his culture, wizard culture.
Okay. What are you asking? And we can make this a group thing if you all have questions.
Uh, so there was a white one of you,
Yes,
right?
yes. He
And he was in charge.
he was. His name was Saruman, and he was in charge. No longer.
Who's in charge now?
I personally don't feel comfortable uh answering that. Alatar and Palando, as absent as they have been, and I never quite saw eye to eye. It was a strained relationship even before we arrived in Middle Earth, and I suppose it's a long-winded way of saying no one, Master Halbarad.
No one? You're not gonna step up?
Perhaps Alatar may one day feel that call to lead, but
I'm not talking about Alatar. I'm talking about you.
me? What? What? Me lead the wizards?
I mean, I'll
No,
be
no,
honest with you. We don't have a lot of choices in the matter.
no, my dear boy. No, you mistake me. I am a humble I am a humblest of the wizards, the what some might call the least of. Even did you know my name before I arrived?
Probably Halbert would not know.
You would not have no.
Yeah, there was I heard a story about a guy who could turn into a bear. That wasn't you, right?
No, we are riding on that person now. In fact,
I'm gonna need you to stop feeling sorry for yourself and get your head in the game, Radagast.
and what would you know of it? What would you know of what I've done? What evils I've wrought, even inadvertently?
Does it look like I give a shit? We're riding on a bear trying to fix it.
Make a persuasion check for me.
A D12 and 1D6. Okay.
There we go.
Oh, that's not terrible. I got a
Okay.
10 and a 4.
10
So
and a 4.
that's
All right.
14, and that beats my target number.
Okay. He's going to look down and say, I suppose the time for action is upon us. Deeds speak louder than words often. It is said. Who said that? Probably Gandalf. But you're right. Yes. Yes. I think I could. Perhaps I could be of some assistance. Thank you. Sometimes I get so in my own head, it's often difficult to find my way out. If you understand me.
If we spend our entire lives waiting for someone else to do this shit, we're all gonna die. And that goes for everyone on this fucking bear. We're not waiting anymore. We're doing it.
You're going to hear Aomer from the back grunt in agreement. Very well. To action then. And we will continue moving on through to our next check. This is going to be our third round. Grimbjorn, an athletics check, and the rest of you, I will allow a scan, an awareness, or an explore.
Right. I'm
You
changing
know
my
what?
die.
What does explore do? That's where we get like a secret entrance.
So explore is going to potentially make you stop, check something out that looks suspicious, potentially a faster route, potentially something of interest.
I'm gonna stick with awareness.
Okay.
We don't have time to bullshit around. I don't know about you guys. Well,
I got 16 and extra success.
16 and an extra success. All right. Grimbjorn.
22 with an extra success.
22 with an extra success. Halbarad.
18.
18. All right. So it is around the morning of the second day, you all begin to see that there are more swampy areas and footprints. And as you continue moving throughout the day, there are maybe one or two abandoned almost, some sort of bone that looks like it could have been some sort of animal bone that was used for food of some kind, a ration of some sort. You also begin to see creatures, animals, and none of you sort of being from this area in particular, you don't necessarily notice anything strange about them until, you know, it's typical, like, you know, the dragonflies and the frogs and the little water rodents that you would see sort of scurrying around. And then you, after a while, notice that the creatures in this almost what is sort of becoming a bog at this point begin to get bigger. Ao, when you see a dragonfly double the size of your hand, and Halbarad, there's a couple of birds flying over you, but they're not like any birds you've seen previously. And off in the distance, you begin to hear an unclear what the deep thrumming of like these sort of almost whale calls, not quite whale, but something similar, sort of peer out. And it also begins to get a little mistier, and there are way less things visible in the distance as the fog sort of begins to close in. You have not reached the second river yet, but it kind of continues further and further and further as you go. I would like to ask, are you going to continue through the night with speed, or would you like to rest the evening, or would you like to move in a more stealthy way?
I want to be as stealthy as possible. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I think keep moving, but stealthy boys.
Okay, stealthy boys.
We'll keep moving. If we keep moving, will that hurt our stealth?
So you can keep moving. Basically, the instance here is you can move with stealth, but it's going to impact the amount of time. And remember, you're on a time crunch. You begin to feel it getting wetter and deeper and soggier. And so moving with stealth is going to be a little harder. So it's going to impact your time.
What do you guys
Stealthy?
think?
You thinking?
I think we made good time overnight. I think we need to take caution.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, in lieu of this, what I'm going to ask first is Grimbjorn. It's hard to move stealthily as big as you are, but you can attempt to be quieter. You're not going to rush as fast. Please go ahead and make me an athletics check for you and a stealth check as well. I will also ask, before you roll the stealth check, Eowyn and Halbarad, please make me scan checks or awareness checks. If you succeed, I will allow Tank to add a d6 to his stealth checks, because you can call out and say, don't go that way, there's a tree branch, or, oh, you're muted.
I was doing silent math on my
Oh,
fingers.
You threw your hands up.
I know. That's a 19, so I'm
A
good.
19. All right. It's one extra d6. Halbarad. Muted.
Anyway, I got it. One of them was a D6.
Okay.
But
Extra d6.
10, 14, 18 plus 6 is a 24.
With a 24. Grimbjorn, go ahead and add 2d6s to that stealth roll. And then because of that extra success, add +1, just a flat +1.
My athletics was 20, by the way.
Okay, perfect.
Stealth, so 2 extra. 14.
14. Does that beat your target number?
Nope.
Okay, and that includes the 2 extra d6 and the +1?
Then it would be 15, but
The
it still
15?
doesn't. It's a 16.
How your target number is a 16?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you, oh, actually, I'm sorry. We are now at the point where I have to make rolls for, I'm sorry. I have to make rolls for the other NPCs, for Eomer, Radagast, and for Gollum. Hang on. Okay. That's a Gandalf. Go ahead and actually, you know what? We're gonna say that's a success. This was, it doesn't really matter who it was for. This was for Radagast, but he rolled a Gandalf. So yeah,
About
you can go ahead
time.
and add that extra d6. I'm sorry, day 2, or sorry, day 3 is, or round 3, I should say, is when the NPCs start getting involved. So Grimbjorn, you are going to pass, because if you add an extra d6, you'll add at least 1.
Yeah.
So that is a successful stealth check. We're going to say that as you move through towards the end of this second day, you see a number of orcs off in the distance, but they're individuals, and you pick up that these are likely scouts. And Grimbjorn's big enough, but there's enough distance between you and the orc that you can skirt around where there's that thick sort of forested area, and traverse through that. And then you look out into the distance and you don't really see too much. And there's another thicket that you can move through there. And you're making noise, but it's not enough to get you caught for anyone to raise the alarm.
So only one orc, you said?
You see a couple of orcs, but they're scattered throughout. You've reached sort of the first line of scouts, but you've moved quickly enough and quietly enough that they do not catch you.
Do you think we can kill him stealthily?
You can attempt to. However, in bypassing them, you by killing them, you would need to do something with their bodies. By bypassing them, you risk them seeing your tracks, but it is so muddy and murky that there is a chance they wouldn't see it. So it is a risk to do that, but it is certainly possible.
Is there any, can I use my lore to know how to cover up tracks?
I don't think you'd need to use lore. You are a ranger. You would attempt to do this. In covering your tracks, though, you would lose time, because you would need to, if at any point Grimbjorn's paw sinks in and there's a big bear paw there, that's going to take some time to cover up.
Okay.
That's up to you, though. Do you still want to cover the tracks?
I think we should. just to cover our bases. But if we don't have time for it, I understand.
Yeah, I think by the time they would see them in the daylight, I think we would be long gone. It might be faster to just try and like get away, but that's just like where my head's at.
Grimyorn?
Yeah, we're already going at a slower pace. I think we should move forward. The orcs might just see big bear tracks and think, "Why here had a bear in the area?" So I think we're gonna be fine. If it was a bunch of human footprints, it might raise alarm, but because it's a bear, I think we're all right.
All right, forward it is.
Okay. As you continue to move forward, not filling in the tracks, I am now going to ask everyone to make a final check stealthily as you've been going. So, Tank, go ahead and have Grimbjorn make an athletics check first, and then a stealth check. But before you make the stealth check, you two, and then I'll include the rest of the others.
Wait, so Tank's rolling first.
24
Tank
for
will.
athletics.
Okay, athletics. That's good. Now you two roll.
Okay.
I
Is
got
that again?
I got a
That's
Gandalf and a 6.
Awesome.
Okay. Halberad. That's amazing.
I mean, 24. 24.
A 24. Okay, with a 24, a Gandalf, and a 6.
I also
Grimbjorn.
got a 6. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. So go ahead and add, and actually let me do this.
Can't let me have anything.
What?
Oh,
Okay. I
taste
kick
of your own
Awen off the
medicine.
bed.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Brought it back around.
Not if you want, unless you want Amber to stab you. All right, so that is
Ayo,
3
man.
successes as well. So Grimbjorn, go ahead and actually, this is going to be a max stealth roll. 1d12 and 66s, and add a flat +2.
That probably makes it 4, 10, 14, 26. Yeah, that makes it.
Okay.
28 with the +2.
Mm-hmm. In beating your stealth check and athletics check, you would all begin to notice that Gollum on top is looking around, scared, but he begins to look up and notice that something's off. And Grimbjorn, as you're moving stealthily, you feel the water get a little bit deeper. The rest of you look out and you begin to, the smell of the bog hits your nose, and it's sulfur and it's peat and it's just the gross smelling, dirty, stagnant water. And Smeagol is going to look around and say, "Who's this? Who's that tree? But it's on the other side of the river, and there's no river." And Aomer is going to grab onto Smeagol. "Speak plainly." "The bog is ready. The dead marshes is growing. Cullen, we are all ready here. We will show you the way."
This might seem counterintuitive.
Hmm.
What if we reflood the dead marshes with all of Warrior's forces already in them? Is that possible if we just destroy the dam?
So you do not know where the dam is. You could potentially find the dam, drain the water, or you could. I think your original plan was to light it on fire using the basic knowledge you know about bogs and marshes, about how they have flammable stuff in there.
Okay. What do you guys think? I'm tempted just to reflood it.
Would
I'm not sure if that'll work.
topologically
Yeah.
Would flooding I just closed my map. Would flooding the marshes make an easier pathway or a harder pathway? Because if
For
you can,
his forces to move
yeah,
topologically, geographically speaking, what you would need to potentially do is either destroy the dam to remove the water, and thereby removing any water sources, but it's not clear to you why he's using that water, or you reflood it by redamming the river. Now, you haven't found the exact source of where all of that is, but you could look for it, you could investigate it, and attempt to reflood this portion, because it is, if you look at the scene in the Two Towers for the Dead Marshes, it's a valley basically, but it's flat enough at certain points that you could potentially get some water through.
and
I don't know if we have
we
time to build a dam.
No, we do not have time to build a dam.
no.
I was maybe I'm just not scientist enough. I was like, oh, it's not flooded. Why don't we destroy the dam?
Dam
Oh,
would release it and it would let the water
yes,
Yeah.
flow.
that's what I
Yeah.
thought.
Yeah.
Also,
The,
do would any of us like can we like lore check it? Like, would we know what the sort of like plot twist of the Dead Marshes is at
I
this
think at this
juncture?
point you've been filled in on what it is. And just for
Okay.
anyone that is maybe unaware, you know that battle where you see Elrond at the beginning of Fellowship of the Ring?
Yeah.
Okay. Before that battle, before they got to the Black Gate of Mordor, the Dead Marshes is where they fought. That was where the big battle of everything was. And the bodies of humans, dwarves, and elves are all littered there, as the evil of Sauron corrupted those host bodies. Their souls are trapped there. There are legends about ghosts, will-o'-the-wisp flames. You would know all of this. Yeah.
Also, I don't know if this I really don't know if this is an in-game or out of game
No,
question,
go
but
ahead.
like
Go ahead.
what is the statistical likelihood that Gwaihir has enough magical forces to where he could essentially army of the dead this? Like, if we don't destroy the Dead Marshes, could Gwaihir potentially also like zombie army? Is that why he chose the Dead Marshes? Like, do we know that yet?
You would not fully grasp his plan there, but I will. Again, this is all going to kind of go back to your Gandalf in the Palantir. I think you would get the sense that it's not necessarily like a zombie type thing exactly, because you know, in your experience at least, whatever happened with Gwaihir, human and two-legged, bipedal human, elf, dwarf creatures like that don't really seem to be part of his plan. There have been very few humans that have betrayed, or there haven't been any humans that have betrayed you. No one's like secretly working for Gwaihir, as far as you can tell. So you're welcome to make a check if you want, but yeah.
We could just burn it up.
Yeah, I'm sort of tempted to say we just burn it to the ground.
We know where his forces are concentrated in the Dead Marshes.
Eowyn, you would know this. So
Yeah.
you guys are now on the outskirts of the Dead Marshes that has seemingly grown. The river is no longer there, but you would need to go much further deep into the Dead Marshes. You would know. You saw in the background, you saw the mountain range behind Gwaihir, and it was not, right up against it, but it was close enough that they're by the mountains still. So you've got a ways to go if you want to get to Gwaihir's like main area.
I'm down to go there, or at
I
least
think
to
we need to
Yeah.
do
get
some
closer.
recon.
Yeah.
We need to get
Yeah.
closer.
I think that's like the whole, at least for Eowyn's like point of view, like she just
Mhm.
wants to know like what she saw was true, and so I think going in closer is gonna make sense. But I
Okay.
also feel like there's gonna be so many creepy grabby hands in the swamp, though. It's gonna be so creepy.
And the army is following us, right? Did we
The army,
establish that?
The army, you guys were sent ahead as kind of like a scout so that Radagast could use the fireflies to transmit a message.
Okay, so we need more information. So we need to get closer.
I agree with Tank. Come on. You afraid to get a little wet?
You afraid to get wet?
All right.
Hey, there's no points to the final boss. I'm just saying.
I'm going to stay in bear form because I think my senses are sharper. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. As you continue to move through the swamp, I'm going to ask you all to make another set of checks. However, Grimbjorn, in staying in bear form, you are rolling with ill favor, and you are also rolling with one less d6 than you would get for the help actions for these. So go ahead and make that athletics check. Yeah.
Does this get one less?
One less.
Okie ill favor. Jeez, my lucky.
Fourteen. And that
2.
In only beating your target number by 2. It's not too bad, but this is tough. This is a lot harder than before. The water is getting kind of deep, and then even as you're sort of able to clamber over it, like, it becomes very clear that there was no way you were making it to where you needed to be without Grimbjorn being this large, or you would have had to find another way. There are more creatures that begin to swim past you. You notice the flicks of tails above you. Flocks of birds begin to circle, and you hear yelling and an arousal of something off in the distance, and then it dies away. Somewhere else, a wolf howls. There are spiders that are seemingly walking on the water that are just massive. Nothing that size, that weight should be able to, and yet there it is. They don't really seem to pay you too much mind.
Eowyn is gonna... Grimbjorn, you stayed a bear, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Eowyn is gonna look at the group that's on his back. And she's gonna say, I think we are being watched and we are being observed. But a very large bear in a place where there are very large animals perhaps is advantageous. I would recommend that we all quite literally lay low, and I'm gonna like flip up like my cool travel hood that I canonically declare right now in this moment has like fur on it, and I'm gonna kind of like lean into like Grimbjorn, and so it's like cover myself with like fur so it looks like I'm just like part of him.
Okay.
Stealth mode.
Yeah. Stealth mode.
Can we all do that? Do we all have fur mind?
So here's what we're gonna say. You can try and do that. I will say Radagast at this point is going to say, if you give me a moment, and he's gonna start reaching out his hand, touch a little bit of the water, pick up some of the sort of seaweed and muck and grime that you see from there, and start to throw it over himself so it gets him a little wet. But he's sort of throwing the muck over him. Tank, you need a minute? Do you need to go be a dad?
Just 1 second.
Go be a dad. Yeah,
you
got it. You got it. Yeah, you would be able to do that.
I just realized we're walking into like giant animal kingdom with a giant animal. I was like, oh, this is actually maybe more difficult than I was making it.
We are simply walking into the dead marshes.
I told you could certainly try.
Right. Is there...
We're good.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe is there room for all of us to get seaweed, or is there a way I can travel under Grimbjorn?
You would potentially be in danger of having to hold your breath if
Never
if
mind.
he
Sinks.
falls or if he sinks or if anything, you could, yeah, you if you want to do this stealthily and like be not noticed, you'd have to cover yourself up.
All right.
If I'm that big and my fur grew with me, you could
It's
probably
pretty tall.
snuggle it, get in a
Yeah,
little bit.
you'd still need to cover yourself, right? Like it's not like a foot long for
Yeah.
each individual hair, but like
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. I do the same thing that Eowyn did.
All right. Eowyn, smart thinking. Because as you guys begin to do this, Grimbjorn, I'd like you to go ahead and add 2 extra diamonds to your stealth checks permanently for this area. So anytime you make a stealth
Ooh.
check, there are no humans on you. You will be able to move. You'll able to move silently or very nonchalantly, I will say. No one's going to notice you. And you will also have favor. Good thinking, Eowyn.
All right.
All right, go ahead. Give me a stealth check.
Mm, 16.
Okay, with a
Just
16.
matches it. Yeah.
Yep, yeah, with a 16. About an hour later, it's getting dark. There's an orc that you see. It's kind of striding up to you off in the distance, about 50 feet away. The water has sort of receded at this sort of high point. You're on a hill, basically, you can tell, and you're further deep into the marsh, and it smells awful. And the orc is going to look up at you. Oi, you should be with the rest of them.
I had a little bit too much earlier. Can you point
Oh,
me in a direction? I wandered off and I've dismissed it
you lost?
a little bit. Can you point me back to camp?
Make a persuasion check for me. Halbarad,
Uh,
I see your hand raised while he's rolling. What do you want to do?
No, I was miming like
Oh,
getting my
miming the
spear
hold.
out. Like,
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Uh,
Aomer's also going to start sliding his.
yeah,
I might have
and
to stab this guy really quickly.
Eowyn is gonna like spot grab Gollum
Okay.
and like I don't want to say like aggressively or in a way that would hurt, but in a way that is like if you make a fucking sound, just to keep him quiet because I don't want him
Yeah.
to start like yelling.
Gollum is so terrified at the concept of going back to the orcs being so close. He keeps his mouth shut.
Is there a
He
way
gives
to?
wide-eyed, quick nod. What's up,
Never mind. I want to see what Tank rolled first.
it was
Tank?
a 10.
Was it 10? Orc's going to look at you and go, right. You don't know the way back to camp, huh? I thought all of you had that sense about you. You feel in the core. You won't shut up about it, will you, folks? You think you're so special. There's nothing, and you see him getting angrier, and he's a big orc, about you that's any more special than. And you watch as an arrow pierces his neck, and the orc falls down onto the ground.
I'll shove him deeper into the peat and then look around.
Make a scan check, and I will allow the people on top to do so, but with ill favor.
Scan check. I swear to God, if Rayrall's not protecting Timmy, we're gonna be pretty pissed.
If anything happens to Timmy,
We riot.
Grimbjorn.
I rolled a Gandalf, 2 1s and a 2, so it would have failed, but I got a Gandalf with that.
Got the Gandalf. Yeah, go ahead.
I got an
Oh,
11.
yeah. Okay, an 11.
I 15 just
Okay,
nailed it.
cool. With a Gandalf, Grimbjorn, you start sniffing around. You smell something different. Human. Where? To your left. And in the mist is an archer, bow in one hand and finger to his lips on the other. And he's going to slip back into the mist. Do you follow?
The
You guys see that?
I would have. Yes, I.
If you passed your awareness check, you would
Yeah.
have, yes.
We follow him.
Oh, that was an awareness check. You told us
I'm
to
sorry.
scan.
It was a scan. That was a scan. Sorry.
No. Do I recognize the arrow?
Go ahead down into you wanna pick it up gingerly or something?
Yeah, I want to inspect it.
Yeah. Go ahead and make me a lore check.
Oh, it's one of my highest stats.
Yeah.
Sorry. That wasn't necessary. I'm a big tough person. Yeah.
So necessary. Never apologize.
5. All right. That is a 9 plus 2, 11 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 3.
Yeah. So for those of us that weren't doing that math like me, that is a what? Sorry.
Good question. I thought you were doing the math.
I wasn't. Sorry. Say it again.
20.
20.
No,
Thank you.
I can
Thank
do
you.
it.
Yeah,
That does
okay.
be my target number.
Okay. In beating your target number, yeah, you get handed the arrow. You know this kind of arrow. It's not quite like your Rangers of the North, but it's very close. And I've been down south a few times, not for a while, but this is a Gondorian arrow, specifically arrows of the Rangers of Ithilien.
You motherfucker. All right. Let's follow that mist guy.
All right. I'll follow the scent.
Okay. As you all disappear into a much thicker cloud of mist, we're going to go ahead and stop there. And if you guys are all right with it,
I knew it. I knew you were gonna do
I
this.
knew
Mr.
it,
love
yeah.
to have you back for a part 2 of
Of
the
course.
Unpredicted Party, the Gray Company episode. Part 2.
Hell yeah.
Amazing. All right. We are going to wrap up here. A quick, are you guys free for another 5 minutes for like an after party on Patreon?
We get
Just
our own after party?
if you want to,
The
yeah.
after
Yeah.
after party.
After
Yeah,
Grey
after,
Company.
before,
Wow.
middle party.
After party.
Yes,
Party.
yeah. We'll keep it quick because I know we've got places to be and things. But
That's fine.
yeah, join us on patreon.com/DonMarshall72 for the unpredicted after party.
After Grey? Gray? Going
The
Gray?
Gray,
I don't know.
we're gonna workshop this name in the after party. Join us for that and many
Good.
more shenanigans. Y'all, thank you so much for joining me on this spinoff. I'm sure live chat's going crazy right now.
Oh, I hope so.
Hi, chat.
Thank you all for being here. For those that are maybe just joining for the first time, let's go ahead and promote ourselves. Tank, we'll start with you. Who are you? What did you do?
What did I do? I'm Tank, nerd gym trainer on all socials, wholesome positivity to the max, just trying to make people's days better, lives better through fun workouts and good things, good messages.
Fantastic. And
Find
remind
me
people of your,
everywhere. Yeah.
what's your screen name?
Tank Tolman on all socials, Facebook, Instagram. Just celebrated hitting 1 million followers on Facebook.
Hey, congratulations.
Hooray!
All right. Well, you can join
So-
one of the 1 million Facebook followers as well. And only about 100,000 of them are bots from foreign countries. But that's fine. We're not. We all have them. It happens.
Yeah.
Justin, where can people find you?
You can find me wherever toys are sold on Twitter, Instagram, and on TikTok at Freddy's Roommate.
Right. Katie, take us home.
Okay. So I don't know why Take Us Home was so funny to me. I apologize. Hi everybody, my name's Kate. I go with Katiosaurus on the internet. You can find me wherever there's a Katiosaurus. And I like to make content. I put no thought into what I was going to say.
That's
I'm
okay. She
sorry.
does ADHD advocacy work, and
That's me. I do
Yeah.
that and other stuff. I talk about neurodivergency and TTRPGs. There you go.
There we go. There we go.
I forgot how to do my outro.
It's totally fine. I did put you on the spot. I apologize. I kind of assumed you had it like a memorized thing, like
I usually do, but it wasn't in my brain, so it's fine.
That's
But
fine.
anyway, thanks
we're all
for
here having a good
having
time.
me.
Thank you for joining us, and we will see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.